The Galactic Summit. In the vastness of the Andromeda Galaxy, a monumental event was unfolding. The Galactic Summit, a gathering of the most advanced alien civilizations, commenced on the shimmering planet of Zephyria. Amidst the towering crystalline structures and iridescent gardens, delegates from countless worlds converged to discuss the future of their interstellar alliance. Among the sea of exotic beings, a small group of humans stood out. They were the first of their kind to be invited to this prestigious assembly. Leading them was Captain Area Nova, a brilliant strategist with an unwavering determination. Alongside her were Dr. Luca Solaris, a genius xenobiologist, and Zara Vega, a skilled diplomat with a knack for deciphering alien languages. As they navigated through the otherworldly environment, Area couldn't help but marvel at the incredible diversity surrounding them. Beings with translucent skin, multiple limbs, and telepathic abilities mingled in the grand halls. The air was filled with a symphony of alien tongues, each carrying its own mysterious cadence. The human delegation was greeted by the summit's host, a tall, slender being with luminescent eyes and flowing robes. "Welcome, esteemed guests from Earth," the host spoke in a melodic voice that seemed to reverberate through their minds. "I am Zephyr, the Grand Counselor of Zephyria. We have long awaited your arrival." Area stepped forward, her posture emanating confidence and respect. "Thank you, Grand Counselor Zephyr. It is an honor to be here, representing humanity. We come with open minds and a desire to forge meaningful connections with the galactic community." Zephyr smiled, a gesture that seemed to brighten the already luminous surroundings. "Your presence here marks a significant milestone. Earth has shown remarkable progress and potential. We believe your unique perspective will greatly contribute to the discussions that lie ahead." As they were escorted to their designated quarters, Luca couldn't contain his excitement. "Can you believe it, Area? We're actually here, among the most advanced civilizations in the galaxy. Imagine the knowledge we can gain, the scientific breakthroughs waiting to be discovered." Zara, ever the diplomat, chimed in. "And the alliances we can forge. This summit presents an incredible opportunity for humanity to establish its place on the galactic stage." Area nodded, her mind already racing with possibilities. "We have much to learn and much to offer. But let's not forget, we're also here to observe and assess. Not every civilization may have humanity's best interests at heart." As they settled into their accommodations, a sense of anticipation filled the air. The Galactic Summit promised to be a turning point for humanity, a chance to prove their worth among the stars. Little did they know, the challenges and revelations that awaited them would test their resolve and ingenuity like never before. The stage was set, and the future of humanity hung in the balance. In the midst of this cosmic gathering, Area, Luca, and Zara would soon discover that their greatest strength lay not in their individual abilities, but in the unbreakable bond of their shared humanity. The mysterious artifact. The Galactic Summit was in full swing, with countless discussions and negotiations taking place among the diverse alien delegates. Area, Luca, and Zara found themselves immersed in a whirlwind of diplomatic engagements and scientific exchanges. During a brief respite between sessions, Grand Counselor Zephyr approached the human delegation with a mysterious gleam in his luminescent eyes. "Captain Nova, I have something of great importance to share with you and your colleagues. Please, follow me." Intrigued, the trio accompanied Zephyr to a secluded chamber deep within the summit's vast complex. As they entered, their eyes were drawn to a peculiar artifact resting on a pedestal at the center of the room. It was a spherical object, pulsating with an ethereal blue light that seemed to dance across its intricate surface. Zephyr gestured towards the artifact, his voice taking on a solemn tone. "This, my esteemed guests, is the Nexus Orb. It is an ancient relic of immense power, said to hold the key to unlocking the secrets of the universe itself." Luca stepped closer, his scientific curiosity piqued. "Fascinating. What exactly does it do, and why are you showing it to us?" Zephyr's expression grew serious. The Nexus Orb has the ability to bridge the gaps between galaxies, to connect civilizations across vast distances. It is a tool of great potential, but also great responsibility. We believe that humanity, with your unique perspective and resilience, may hold the key to unlocking its true purpose. Arya furrowed her brow, her strategic mind already weighing the implications. With all due respect, Grand Counselor, why entrust such a powerful artifact to a species that is still relatively new to the galactic stage? Zephyr smiled enigmatically. Because, Captain Nova, we have seen the potential in humanity. Your species possesses a remarkable ability to adapt, to innovate, and to overcome seemingly insurmountable challenges. We believe that you may be the ones to unlock the Nexus Orb's full potential and use it for the betterment of all. Zara, ever the diplomat, stepped forward. We are honored by your trust, Grand Counselor, but we must also consider the potential risks and responsibilities that come with such power. How can we ensure that the Nexus Orb is used wisely and for the benefit of all civilizations? Zephyr nodded, acknowledging Zora's concerns. You raise valid points, Ambassador Vega. That is why we propose a joint endeavor. A team of our most brilliant minds, working alongside yours, to study the Nexus Orb and unlock its secrets. Together, we can ensure that its power is harnessed for the greater good. As the weight of the proposition settled upon them, Arya, Luca, and Zara exchanged glances, a silent communication passing between them. They knew that accepting this responsibility would change the course of human history, for better or for worse. With a resolute nod, Arya turned to Zephyr. We accept, Grand Counselor. Humanity stands ready to embark on this journey of discovery and cooperation. We will work tirelessly to ensure that the Nexus Orb becomes a symbol of unity and progress for all. And so, as the Galactic Summit continued, a new chapter began for humanity. The path ahead was uncertain, filled with challenges and mysteries yet to be unraveled. But armed with their unwavering determination and the support of their galactic allies, Arya, Luca, and Zara were ready to face whatever lay ahead. The Nexus Orb glowed brighter, as if sensing the momentous occasion. Its light seemed to hold the promise of a future where the stars themselves would bear witness to the triumphs of human ingenuity and the unbreakable bonds of friendship that transcended the boundaries of space and time. Unraveling the secrets. With the Nexus Orb in their possession, the human delegation found themselves at the center of a groundbreaking scientific endeavor. Luca, in particular, was thrilled at the prospect of delving into the mysteries of the ancient artifact. The joint research team, comprised of brilliant minds from various alien civilizations, set up a state-of-the-art laboratory within the summit's complex. The Nexus Orb was placed in a specially designed containment unit, its ethereal blue light casting an otherworldly glow upon the eager faces of the scientists. As they began their investigations, Luca quickly discovered that the Nexus Orb was no ordinary object. It seemed to possess a level of complexity that defied conventional understanding. The intricate patterns etched upon its surface were not mere decorations, but rather a sophisticated language that held the key to unlocking its true potential. Day and night, Luca and his team pored over the data, analyzing every fluctuation in the orb's energy signature, deciphering the cryptic symbols that danced across its surface. The more they unraveled, the more questions arose, each one leading them deeper into a labyrinth of cosmic mysteries. Meanwhile, Arya and Zara found themselves immersed in the diplomatic aspects of the summit. They engaged in countless discussions with alien delegates, forging alliances and exchanging knowledge. The Nexus Orb had become a catalyst for unprecedented cooperation among the galactic civilizations, as each recognized the potential benefits that could arise from its understanding. However, as the days turned into weeks, a sense of unease began to creep into the minds of the human delegation. Whispers of dissent and suspicion echoed through the summit's halls, as some civilizations expressed concerns about the potential misuse of the Nexus Orb's power. Arya, ever the vigilant strategist, took note of these undercurrents. She approached Zora, her brow furrowed with concern. "We need to tread carefully, Zora. Not everyone may have the same noble intentions as we do. We must ensure that the Nexus orb doesn't fall into the wrong hands." Zara nodded, her diplomatic instincts already at work. "I agree, Arya. We must work to maintain the trust and cooperation we've established. But we also need to be prepared for any potential threats that may arise." As the research progressed, Luca made a startling discovery. Hidden within the depths of the Nexus orb's code was a message, a plea from an ancient civilization long lost to the annals of history. The message spoke of a great calamity that had befallen their world, a crisis that had forced them to create the Nexus orb as a means of preserving their knowledge and ensuring the survival of their legacy. Luca rushed to share his findings with Arya and Zara, his eyes wide with excitement and trepidation. "This changes everything. The Nexus orb isn't just a tool for communication and travel. It's a repository of an entire civilization's wisdom and technology. We have a responsibility to protect and preserve this knowledge for future generations." Arya and Zara exchanged glances, the gravity of the situation settling upon them. They knew that the path ahead would be fraught with challenges and difficult decisions, but they also knew that they couldn't turn back now. The fate of humanity, and perhaps the entire galaxy, rested upon their shoulders. With renewed determination, the human delegation pressed forward, their resolve stronger than ever. They would unravel the secrets of the Nexus orb, and in doing so, they would forge a new era of understanding and cooperation among the stars. The Galactic Summit may have brought them together, but it was the unbreakable bonds of human ingenuity, resilience, and unity that would carry them through the trials that lay ahead. For in the face of the unknown, humanity would always find a way to shine. Whispers of betrayal. As the research into the Nexus orb intensified, so too did the political tensions within the Galactic Summit. Despite the initial spirit of cooperation and unity, cracks began to appear in the facade of interstellar harmony. Arya, ever the keen observer, noticed subtle shifts in the behavior of certain alien delegates. Hushed conversations in darkened corridors, furtive glances exchanged across the negotiation tables. These were the telltale signs of ulterior motives at play. One evening, as Arya pored over security reports in her quarters, a soft chime at the door interrupted her concentration. She opened it to find Zara, her expression grave and urgent. "We have a problem," Zara said, her voice low and controlled. "I've intercepted communications between two of the alien factions. They're planning to seize control of the Nexus orb and use its power for their own gain." Arya's heart sank, the weight of the revelation settling heavily upon her shoulders. She had feared this moment would come, but the reality of it still struck her like a physical blow. "We need to inform Luca and the rest of the research team," Arya said, her mind already racing with contingency plans. "We can't let the Nexus orb fall into the wrong hands." Zara nodded, her determination mirroring Arya's own. "I've already taken steps to secure our communication channels and strengthen our defenses, but we must act quickly before they make their move." As they made their way to the research lab, Arya and Zara were met with a scene of chaos. Alarms blared, and the acrid smell of smoke filled the air. The containment unit that housed the Nexus orb lay shattered, its contents nowhere to be seen. Amidst the confusion, they found Luca, his face ashen and his eyes wide with shock. "They took it," he managed to say, his voice trembling. "The Nexus orb. It's gone." Arya felt a cold fury rise within her, a determination to set things right. She turned to Zara and Luca, her voice steady and resolute. "We'll get it back, and we'll make sure those responsible face the consequences of their actions." As they set about gathering their allies and formulating a plan, Arya couldn't help but reflect on the events that had led them to this moment. The Galactic Summit, which had begun with such promise and hope, now teetered on the brink of disaster. But even in the face of betrayal and adversity, the human spirit refused to be extinguished. Arya, Zara, and Luca knew that they couldn't give up, not when the fate of the galaxy hung in the balance. They would fight, with every ounce of their strength and intellect, to recover the Nexus Orb and restore the fragile peace that had been so carefully cultivated. For in the end, it was not just the fate of humanity that rested upon their shoulders, but the future of all sentient beings across the stars. As they stepped out into the fray, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, Aria felt a flicker of hope amidst the darkness. The road ahead would be long and treacherous, but she knew that with her friends by her side, anything was possible. For the first time in her life, Aria truly understood the meaning of the phrase humanity, F******. It wasn't just a rallying cry or a boastful slogan. It was a testament to the indomitable spirit that burned within every human heart. And as they set forth, ready to take on the galaxy itself, Aria knew that no matter what trials they faced, that spirit would never be extinguished. For in the face of adversity, humanity would always find a way to rise. A daring pursuit. With the Nexus Orb stolen and the Galactic Summit thrown into disarray, Aria, Zara, and Luca knew that time was of the essence. They had to act fast, before the thieves could use the orb's power for their own nefarious purposes. Gathering a small but trusted team of allies, they set out to track down the culprits and recover the stolen artifact. Their first lead came from an unexpected source, a rogue trader with connections to the galactic underworld. In a seedy spaceport on the outskirts of the summit's host planet, they met with the trader, a reptilian creature with cunning eyes and a forked tongue. "I've heard whispers," the trader hissed, "of a group that has been seeking the Nexus Orb for a long time. They call themselves the Shadow Collective." Aria leaned forward, her gaze intense. "Where can we find them?" The trader's lips curled into a smirk. "They operate from a hidden base, deep within the Adrasta Nebula. But be warned, they are not to be trifled with. They have powerful allies and advanced technology at their disposal." Armed with this information, the team set out into the depths of space, their ship cutting through the inky void like a blade. As they navigated the treacherous currents of the Adrasta Nebula, they knew that they were heading into the heart of danger. Luca worked tirelessly to track the energy signature of the Nexus Orb, his brow furrowed in concentration as he pored over the data. Zara, meanwhile, used her diplomatic skills to gather additional intel from their allies, piecing together a clearer picture of the Shadow Collective and their motives. As they drew closer to their target, the sense of urgency grew. The fate of the galaxy hung in the balance, and they knew that failure was not an option. Finally, they'd reached the Shadow Collective's hidden base, a massive structure that loomed like a dark specter amidst the swirling nebula. Aria, Zara, and Luca exchanged determined glances, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. With a daring infiltration plan in place, they'd breached the base's defenses, their weapons at the ready. The Shadow Collective's forces fought back with ruthless efficiency, but the human team's resolve never wavered. Through narrow corridors and cavernous chambers, they battled their way deeper into the base, their hearts pounding with adrenaline and determination. Finally, they'd reached the central command center, where they found themselves face to face with the leaders of the Shadow Collective. Amidst the chaos of battle, Aria spotted the Nexus Orb, its ethereal blue light pulsing with an urgent rhythm. With a burst of speed, she lunged forward, her fingers closing around the orb's smooth surface. But before she could claim victory, a searing pain erupted in her shoulder, and she stumbled back, her vision blurring. One of the Shadow Collective's leaders stood before her, a smoking blaster in hand, and a cruel smile on their face. "Did you really think it would be that easy?" The leader taunted, their voice dripping with malice. "The Nexus Orb belongs to us now, and with its power, we will reshape the galaxy to our will." Aria gritted her teeth, her resolve unwavering even in the face of pain and adversity. She glanced at Zara and Luca, who stood beside her, their weapons at the ready. "You underestimate the power of human determination," Aria said, her voice ringing with conviction. We will never surrender, not as long as there is breath in our bodies and hope in our hearts. And with that, the final battle for the Nexus Orb began, a clash of wills and ideals that would determine the fate of the galaxy itself. The future hung in the balance, but one thing was certain: humanity would never back down from a fight. The final confrontation. The central command center of the Shadow Collective's base erupted into a maelstrom of chaos and violence. Aria, Zara, and Luca fought with every ounce of strength and skill they possessed, their weapons flashing in the dim light as they clashed with the enemy forces. Despite the searing pain in her shoulder, Aria refused to let go of the Nexus Orb. She knew that if it fell into the hands of the Shadow Collective, the consequences would be catastrophic. With gritted teeth and a fierce determination, she pushed forward, her free hand wielding a blaster with deadly precision. Zara and Luca fought by her side, their movements fluid and synchronized as they covered each other's blind spots. They had trained for this moment, honing their skills and forging an unbreakable bond of trust and camaraderie. The leader of the Shadow Collective, a towering figure clad in black armor, surged forward, their eyes gleaming with a madness born of unbridled ambition. They lashed out with a vicious energy blade, the air sizzling with each swipe. Aria parried the blows, her own weapon sparking against the energy blade. She could feel the Nexus Orb pulsing in her hand, as if urging her to keep fighting, to never give up. With a final, desperate lunge, Aria struck at the leader's exposed weak point, her blaster finding its mark. The leader stumbled back, their armor sparking and smoking as they fell to the ground, defeated. But there was no time for celebration. The remaining Shadow Collective forces pressed in, their numbers seemingly endless. Aria, Zara, and Luca found themselves backed into a corner, their options dwindling with each passing moment. It was then that Luca had a sudden realization. The Nexus Orb, with its immense power, could be their salvation. He turned to Aria, his voice urgent and filled with hope. The orb, Aria, use it to create a wormhole, just like in the ancient civilization's message. Aria hesitated for a moment, the weight of the decision heavy upon her shoulders. But as she looked into the eyes of her friends, saw the trust and belief they had in her, she knew what she had to do. With a deep breath, Aria focused her mind on the Nexus Orb, pouring all her determination and willpower into the ancient artifact. The orb began to glow, its light growing brighter and brighter until it filled the entire room. And then, with a blinding flash, a wormhole burst into existence, its swirling vortex a gateway to escape. Aria, Zara, and Luca wasted no time, leaping into the portal just as the Shadow Collective forces closed in. They emerged on the other side, battered and bruised but alive. A wormhole sealed shut behind them, cutting off their pursuers and securing their escape. As they caught their breath, the realization of their victory slowly sank in. They had done it. They had recovered the Nexus Orb and dealt a crushing blow to the Shadow Collective. The galaxy, for now, was safe. But even as they savored their triumph, they knew that their work was far from over. The Nexus Orb had shown them the true extent of the challenges that lay ahead, the threats that lurked in the shadows of the cosmos. Aria, Zara, and Luca exchanged a silent promise, a vow to continue fighting for the future of humanity and all sentient beings. They would be the guardians of the galaxy, the defenders of hope and unity. And as they set out once more, ready to face whatever trials lay ahead, they did so with the knowledge that they carried the unbreakable spirit of humanity within them. For in the face of adversity in the depths of the unknown, they would always find a way to rise, to fight, and to triumph. The stars beckoned, and humanity answered the call. A new dawn. In the aftermath of their daring escape and the defeat of the Shadow Collective, Aria, Zara, and Luca found themselves hailed as heroes by the Galactic Summit. The news of their bravery and determination spread like wildfire across the stars, inspiring hope and unity among the diverse civilizations. The Nexus Orb, now safely in the hands of the summit's leaders, became a symbol of cooperation and shared knowledge. Its secrets, once unlocked, promised to usher in a new era of unprecedented progress and understanding. Aria, Zara, and Luca were honored for their actions, their names etched into the annals of galactic history. But for them, the true reward was the knowledge that they had made a difference, that they had stood against the forces of darkness and emerged victorious. As they stood before the assembled delegates of the Galactic Summit, Aria stepped forward, her voice ringing with the strength and conviction that had carried them through their trials. "Today, we stand at the precipice of a new dawn," she said, her eyes shining with the light of hope. "The challenges we have faced, the obstacles we have overcome, have only served to strengthen our resolve and unite us as one." She looked to Zara and Luca, her friends and comrades, and saw in their faces the same determination and unwavering spirit that burned within her own heart. "Let this be a lesson to all who would seek to divide us, to those who would use power for their own selfish gains," Aria continued. "We are stronger together, united in our diversity and our shared values. We will not be broken, we will not be bowed." The crowd erupted into applause, the sound of their cheers and shouts filling the air like a thunderous chorus. In that moment, the galaxy stood as one, a testament to the power of unity and the indomitable will of sentient beings. As the celebrations continued, Aria, Zara, and Luca found a quiet moment to reflect on their journey. They had started as strangers, brought together by chance and circumstance, but now they were more than friends. They were family. "What comes next?" Luca asked, his voice filled with a mixture of excitement and uncertainty. Zara smiled, her eyes glinting with the promise of new adventures. "Whatever it is, we'll face it together. We've proven that there's nothing humanity can't achieve when we stand as one." Aria nodded, her heart swelling with pride and gratitude. She knew that the road ahead would be filled with new challenges, new mysteries to unravel, but she also knew that they would face them with the same courage and determination that had carried them this far. "Together," she said, her voice a whisper that carried the weight of a promise. "Always." And so, as the stars continued to shine down upon them, Aria, Zara, and Luca looked to the future, ready to embrace whatever lay ahead. They had each other, and they had the unbreakable spirit of humanity, a force that would always rise, always fight, and always triumph in the face of adversity. The galaxy was theirs to explore, theirs to protect, and theirs to shape, and with the power of the human heart guiding them, there was no limit to what they could achieve. Humanity had taken its first steps into the cosmic dance, and the universe would never be the same. For in the face of the unknown, in the depths of the infinite, humanity would always find a way to shine.